Just want to start today's video by giving a shout out to these fantastic Sir Anthony Harris figures that are currently available on eBay. They're by Mark Corinthians and more, the guy who made the brilliant Mick Powell and the even more brilliant little Kev. For me, he's made two versions of Anthony Harris, both in the home shirt, one green, one black, so you can finally vote on which colour you actually think the shirt is. Spoilers, it's obviously a green shirt. But these two figures, there's only two in existence. They're currently available on auction on eBay. All proceeds from the sale of these figures are going to the National Autistic Society, the same charity we've been raising money through the shirt sponsorship. So it would be awesome if you would like a little piece of home history and to own a unique, one of only two Sir Anthony Harris's, and if you want to compete with me in the bidding for the green one, obviously don't want the one in the wrong coloured shirt, but you might, then the link is down in the description. Get involved. Like I say, it's a great way to raise some money for a great cause and get yourself a cool little piece of memorabilia from the series as well. Hello and welcome to part 135 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two Premier League games. We're away against Manchester United, at home against Blackburn. That's away against the Manchester United team. We're still above in the league. The Premier League is looking a little bit different in the far future. It's not that far. We're like 15 years in the future. Man United are struggling. They're going to beat us today, obviously, but they just can't live without Prasado. He's come to us, scored 12 goals so far this season. They need him back. They ain't having him back. I do have some bad news for you all, though, or not bad news, sad news. Today might be the day Sir Mick Powell finally leaves. He is under offer. They're only loan offers, so it won't be a permanent thing. We just know he can't go anywhere permanently because no one can pay his wages. But Hampton and Richmond and Queen of the South have both offered to loan him until the end of the season. So Sir Mick Powell might finally, at the grand old age of 31, play a game for a club other than home. But he's not played for us for a long time now, so it's only fair to let him go out and score a few goals to finish off his career before hopefully he stays on as a coach. But he's showing no signs of doing that at the moment, which is a little bit of a problem. We've also agreed to sell Grassy. You might question my transfer business at times, but to me this is a wonderful piece of business. Brought him in on a free transfer, didn't work out, didn't fit into our system. 3 months later, we're selling him for nearly £10 million to Southampton. So Grassy might end up being a really, really top quality right winger. He probably will. We're not going to use him, so let's sell him. Also, Harrison, potentially on his way out of the club. He wants to leave as well. Obviously, we've got Herrero playing at the base of the midfield now. Harrison, not quite because... I mean, he was a fantastic player. He's been with us 7 years, but he's not a Europa League standard player, so I think Harrison's days might be numbered, especially if we can secure Herrero for another season or maybe even buy him permanently, which would be very pleasant. But that's not what today's about. Today is about continuing what has been some decent Premier League form. A couple of dodgy draws, but a couple of decent wins as well. We're unbeaten in 4 games in the Premier League, and I think it's just going to be one of those seasons where we're just comfortably mid-table. We're obviously nowhere near a relegation battle. There is, I'm going to say this confidently in December, there's no chance we're getting relegated. We might, if we have a really good second half of the season, push up into these Europa League spots. 7th place doesn't look unattainable. In fact, a win today could push us up to 7th. We're only not there now because of goal difference. Good sentence, Kev. But obviously we're at Old Trafford and Manchester United are level on points with us and we'll probably fancy their chances. But 15 games in to be level on points with Arsenal and Man United, above West Ham, above Tottenham, I think we're doing okay. It's going to be one of those seasons where we probably just do okay. And this is the team we're going to send out there to try and do okay against Manchester United. We've got Saidi in goal, a back four of Pagano, Lee, Sands and Riviere, with Herrera at the base of the midfield, Curti and Bishop ahead of him. Taylor is playing today, a rare start for Taylor. This might be Kyle Taylor's first start of the season. It is. It's his first appearance of the season. Manu's suspended, so we get to have another look at the high potential Kyle Taylor, who... I mean, he's another one I think we probably might need to send out on loan. Those of you who like an attribute, Kyle Taylor looks like he could end up being a pretty useful player in that position, but he's just not going to get game time with Manu ahead of him. So I think we probably need to send him out on loan somewhere and maybe bring in someone a little bit older to compete with Manu. Not to force Manu out of the team, but to act as Manu's understudy while Taylor maybe goes and gets a season under his belt playing in the Championship or something. But that's a decision for next episode for the January transfer window. And then up front, we've got Prasado returning to Old Trafford for the first time after leaving in the summer after, 10 years there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years there. First return for him, and he's having the best goal return of his career. And he's going to partner Kano up front, who is slowly starting to come back around to the kind of form he was in last year. But we do still, at times, struggle for goals, as we've seen in those couple of 0-0s that we've had recently. If everything comes together on our day, we can beat a team 4-0 like we did against Norwich. But it's just as likely that we will struggle to score completely. Even in the games we're struggling to score in, we're still kind of dominating those games. I think what we need is a next level striker. We've got a former world-class striker who's a bit slow now in the shape of Prasado. We've got some promising young strikers who would be great squad players, but you don't necessarily want to pin all your hopes on them. But I think what we need is a proper top quality striker. Let's go and spend all our money on one of them next summer. Man United have already gone ahead. Let's not worry. It's Manchester United away. We budget to lose this game. Even if they're below us in the league, we still expect to lose away from home against Manchester United. But in a similar way to how we went out and spent a lot of money on Saidi this summer to get our forever goalkeeper, which I'm still hopeful he'll end up being, we want to go and get our forever striker now. The striker that we can bring in now, sort of age 22, 23, already better than anyone else we've got at the club, who's going to be leading the line when we win the Champions League. That's what we're on the lookout for. I think we might have to spend even more than the £53 million we spent on Saidi to get a striker of that quality, though. So it's going to be an interesting summer. I don't think we need to go crazy next. He's already planning for summer in December. It's one of those seasons. Taylor, let's see what he can conjure up in behind the front two. Finds Riviere. Riviere can't get his crossover. And now there's going to be a big Riviere-shaped hole behind him. He's chased back all the way. Is that Riviere? Is he number 25? It looked like he actually chased back all the way, which is an incredible effort if he did. I take it all back. What a wonderful piece of defending. And they've had to switch the play over to the other side where Riviere misses out on it. And, it wasn't because he wasn't there. It's because he's not very good at defending, which we always knew about him. He's not in the team to defend. He's a fullback, for goodness sake. Why would we expect a fullback to be able to defend? They're basically just wingers who start a little bit further back. Two bits of questionable defending there from us. It's always going to be the way for as long as we play this system, and I'm going to play this system for as long as it doesn't lose every game. I love this system. I don't want to move away. You know from previous series as well that it's always been some kind of variation of really attacking fullbacks, a strike partnership, and a player in behind them. That's my preferred way of playing. It doesn't have to be a diamond. It's sometimes a 4-3-1-2. It can be. They're basically the two. But anytime I'm playing anything else, it's because I'm kind of being forced into it by circumstances. I've got a really good winger who's presented themselves to me, or I can only find one decent striker. But if I can do it, I always want to do this. Right, let's assertively say we owe Manchester United. They are a better team than us, though. They're Manchester United, for goodness sake. So losing 2-0 away against them would be absolutely fine. Losing 4 or 5-0 wouldn't be, because they're a team, although they are Manchester United, they will also level on points with us at the start of this game. So they're not a team we should be getting absolutely thumped by. Narrow defeat at their place, I can support. Anything more embarrassing than that, then I'm going to have to write letters to all the players' mums and just question their commitment to the cause. Ball cannons back off the crossbar. And we have a goal kick. Why are we starting a highlight with a goal kick? This is weird. Are we going to score a wonder goal building up from the back? Pagano plays it over the top for Kano to try and chase, but he gets nowhere near it. And United now coming at us, but it ends up with Pagano again because there's no one near him. This is the weirdest highlight in the world. someone's going to do something stupid, and one of these teams is going to give away a dumb goal in a minute. It's the only explanation for this weird highlight that just shows how much time and possession we're giving each other, which, considering we're playing a gegenpress, is worrying. Prasado heads just wide from the cross. All of that was building up to a cross and a header that never threatened the goal. That was weird. Let's get Ollie Steer on. If we're in a world of weird, let's see what Ollie Steer can come with. Tyler Taylor is struggling. I'm going to get Gonzalez on behind him, and we're going to keep an eye on Prasado as well. Prasado, as much as he wants a goal against Manchester United, his former club, he's probably tiring a little bit, and we should probably get him off. We've got Adrio on the bench as well. Adrio, more so than Kano, is struggling to recapture old form. As you can see, not match fit, because I'm barely playing him, because whenever I play him, he's not any good. And I know that's like it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Adrio's not very good, so I'm not going to play him. And then when he plays, well, he wasn't match fit, so he wasn't very good, so I'm not going to play him. I understand that, but at the same time, we're not running a footballer's charity here. He needs to force his way into the team. I'm not going to give him 5 games just to see if last season was a fluke or not. He needs to force his way in. Talk to Mick Powell about what happens when you fall out of favour. You're never going to see Adrio again. He's the one who we're going to replace with our big name striker that we bring in like 4 episodes time. Is this going to be disallowed? We're going to the little telly. It has been disallowed. 2-0 away. I can live with that as long as we win the next game. We have to win. What's going on there? We have to win the next match. If we win that, then I'm comfortable. I think it's Blackburn, isn't it? Blackburn at home. That's a game we should win. But, like I say, we've been in weird form where you never quite know which home team's going to turn up. Well, he's gone for now. Sir Mick Powell has joined Queen of the South on loan until the end of the season. He's going to be playing in the Scottish Championship, where they find themselves in 7th place. I have got him scouted, so if he starts scoring goals and being a hero, then we'll be well aware of it. But Sir Mick Powell has gone to Scotland. Let's see. I mean, look at that. What a career. And then it all changes. So sad. Just the one change for the Blackburn game. Then Manu comes back in for Taylor. Taylor didn't really pass his audition in the Manchester United game. But fingers crossed, with Manu back in the side, offering that creative spark, we might be able to show you a goal this episode, which would be very nice. Let's get into the team talk. What do we want to do? We want to assertively get revenge on Blackburn. It's all about the revenge today. An episode of avenging. I was trying to look at that league table, but it got rudely taken away from me. I think so. Let's group this Premier League up. We've got that top 6. That's a group, and then I think we're in the next group, starting with Fulham, going down probably as far as Tottenham. I think that's another little group, and then you've got the people who are in a relegation battle. We're not in that number, which is good. I don't know how Carl Bishop has scored there. Their goalkeeper probably might want to work on his technique here a little bit. Let's look at that from the other angle. Prasado nods down to Bishop. Bishop drifts past one man and then, sort of toe pokes it past 2 Blackburn defenders and under their goalkeeper. There's no power to that. It's not placed very well. It's straight at the keeper. Any one of those 3 players that went past could have just moved ever so slightly and blocked it. I can only assume the defenders were blocking the goalkeeper's line of sight, and he's let it sneak in. Kano now with a free kick. He hits the crossbar. That was much more deserving of a goal than the one that we actually scored from, but it's the crossbar. Now Curti to take the corner. We've got a little bit of pre-half-time pressure here, and Herrero heads just wide from the corner. This is looking good. We're playing well again today. This is promising stuff. Right, let's get in at half-time. Whip everybody back up again, and hopefully go out and have a really strong second half. So things are going well. I know you're capable of even better. Let's do that. Look at that. We've excited Cesar Sands, and that's often all I want to achieve in a day. I wake up in the morning. What do you want to do today, Kev? I want to get Cesar Sands excited. See what we can do. Well, today I've met that goal. So I can sleep easy tonight. Sands is an excited man, and Herrera's just made a cracking tackle. But I thought that was going to lead to a little counter-attack, but apparently it was still just the start of the second half highlight that ended with a crunching tackle, rather than it being the start of a lovely attacking move. We are dragging ourselves back into the game possession-wise. We were on like 45% possession when we scored our goal. We've now just edging it, but Blackburn have a free kick, and that's terrible defending. There must be an offside in there somewhere. Otherwise, that's just truly awful defending from us, which, I mean, we've been down that road before. Oh, how have we let 4 Blackburn players get between our defence and our goalkeeper? That was so poor. Show some passion. Make some substitutions. Ollie Steer, the answer to all life's problems. I'm going to take Pagano off and bring Deakin on as well. Deakin, remember we signed him in the summer. Let's just get some game time into him. Why not? Pagano, I'm less convinced about than I was last year when he was here on loan. I don't even know what to do now. Demand more? Let's make a final change. We've got Gonzalez and Ka on the bench. I'm told it's Ka, not Cha. I don't know. Neither of them sound right to me. Curti can come off. Ka can come on. Or Ka. And I don't know what to do. We should win this game. We're better than Blackburn. Steer back to Deakin. Deakin with the cross, and Presado heads it past the Blackburn keeper, and we go 2-1 up on 85 minutes. The exciting thing about Deakin, it's a similar reason to why Ollie Steer is still knocking around the place. Deakin has come in young enough to become a homegrown, at-home player like Steer is, because he was signed so young, like Harrison is, which is why it's a bit of a shame that he's going to be moving on. But it's signing them as young as they are. Not only is he English, which helps with European selection and stuff, but he's a homegrown at-club player, which is always a nice thing to have knocking around. That's obviously assuming he sticks around until he's 21. But, you know, if he's gone before he's 21, he wasn't ever good enough anyway, so it doesn't matter. But Deakin, we want to have him part of the fold long term. Perhaps he'll be the answer on that left back position if Pagano's not. Remember, we've still got that lad who came for our youth team as well, whose name I can't remember. So we've got a couple of good young options at left back. But at the moment, Deakin's the one getting the nod because Victor Aldin or something along those lines. I should really remember because he's a Patreon player. It's something like that. He's out on loan. That's why he's not currently pushing for a spot at left back. Right, we've managed to get away with that a little bit. And that's kind of been the story of our season so far. We get away with things a little bit. And we win more games than we lose, so we're bumbling around mid-table in that little second group of 6 or 7 teams, which is absolutely fine. We look ahead now to the transfer window, but first, Mick Powell played. The deep-lying forward wasn't at his best today. I'm not surprised if you're playing him as a deep-lying forward. Bring him home. What's this nonsense? But Sir Mick Powell has made his debut, coming off the bench for Queen of the South. Played 34 minutes. And had 1 shot. Well, there's more to come from Sir Mick Powell. That today wasn't his day, but let's have a look ahead. We've got the January transfer window. We've got a bunch of games, so I think we'll probably just come back for West Ham and Preston. We'll get the whole of the transfer window done. Dartford, wowzers! We're playing Dartford in the FA Cup. I don't even remember that draw happening. So we'll get a whole bunch of games done. January transfers. We'll come back then. We'll see if we're still in the FA Cup. We'll see where we are in the league. And kind of get through this season relatively quickly, I think, is the plan from here. Maybe 2 or 3 more episodes tops, because it's going to be one of those mid-table seasons as we build towards that team that can challenge for Europe on a consistent basis. If you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.